witnesses and filed a lawsuit.
It's work done? Got anything you need to offload? Trade authorities on. Okay, no problem.
Ready for action, Captain. Sliding into our orbital heading now, Captain.
If you can afford that ship, you can afford our supplies. The best prices on the... What you see is what you get. Practical. Built to last. Take all the time you need. We might have some salvage parts we can sell. Take a look. You can stay as long as you'd like. Just don't steal anything.
wherever you go.
I was hoping we might run into one another again. Your timing is most fortuitous. I'm on the verge of something, but I don't quite have all the information I need. We're in uncharted territory here. It's inevitable. Of course, now that I understand more about what's going on, it seems plain as day. And yet I never would have imagined it before. The tertiary trunks have also liquefied their interiors, but they're not vibrating. I thought perhaps it was some sort of defect, but it's much simpler. They're listening. I don't. Not for sure. It's all a theory, certainly, but it is completely supported by the data and observation, like all good science. It's the best we have to go on right now. It means it is ready to reproduce. I believe this tree is sending vibrations out over massive distances and expecting to detect sympathetic vibrations in return. As of yet, there's been no response. I suspect that will not change, that a response is impossible, and that's very, very bad news. We're continuing to see an increase in the strength and frequency of the vibrations. I don't know how much more significant it will become. If there's no response, the tree may vibrate itself, and some nearby portion of the city, to destruction. Now, as of yet, there has been no response, and clearly none of the nearby individuals are a correct match. While it can't be ruled out that the intended recipient of these messages was cut down during the city's expansion, there is one other possibility. Over 100 years ago, the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective emerged from the Narian War. As a gesture of peace and goodwill, a near-literal olive branch, one of the trees from New Atlantis, was offered to the leaders of Aquila City. Certainly wouldn't have been my first suggestion. Something about the common roots of humanity or some such. Politicians and their metaphors. Of course you can't just uproot a native species and plunk it down on some other planet in a totally different environment and expect it to grow. Clearly no exobotanists were consulted ahead of time. The end result was wholly predictable. The tree died within a few short years. I'm sorry, I'll get to the point. The tree died, yes, but branches were kept. At least one still exists in the museum there in the city. If I had that branch, I could get DNA samples, and then using various data I've gathered, I could attempt to simulate a response. We could then broadcast that response and hopefully calm down our friend here. But as I say, I need that branch. I knew you would understand. The museum in Aquila City is under the supervision of one Miss Kassler, I'm told. I don't know anything about her, but hopefully she'll be willing to listen to reason and assist our cause. All right, off you go. We don't have any time to waste.
I can't get enough of all the trees around here.
Hello.
Howdy. Aegis agents don't like spy jokes. Found that out the hard way.
In my opinion, a society is only as advanced as its healthcare. But then, I suppose I am a bit biased. If you bump into the President, can you remind her that I'm still waiting for approval on the dispensary funding? Oh, I'm kidding. Don't actually do that. It is my pleasure to attempt to steer this lumbering bureaucracy towards doing something useful for its citizens, keeping them healthy. My background's in medicine, but I like to think I've graduated from helping one patient at a time to, well, all of them at once. I really do. No group has done more for humanity than the United Colonies, and it is gratifying to be a part of that. Keeping our citizens in good health is vital to our continued success. Stay healthy.
The fewer people there are thinking about Aegis on a daily basis, the easier my job is.
Pardon? Okay, 10% increase in accuracy. Hope it's enough for Commander Mitchell.
Excuse me. I hope you're not here to report something. If you are, it means you've seen far too much. We're the intelligence arm of the United Colonies. Think of it this way. UC Security responds to threats. It's Aegis's job to anticipate and prevent them. No. My parents would never have been so presumptuous. Every agent who joins Aegis gets to choose a pseudonym, pending approval, of course. I chose this for myself when I signed on. I have, of course, since learned that I am not nearly as smart as I thought I was as a younger man. I suppose none of us are. I'm the acting head of Aegis, the intelligence division here in Mast. I oversee all our active projects and agents in the field, and I'm afraid that's about as much detail as I can give you. All you really need to know is that we're here to serve, and we're the good guys. Our main priority is the safety and security of the citizens and assets of the United Colonies, wherever they may be. We keep an eye on, well, everything. That's a level of detail I can't get into. Don't worry, we've got plenty of good people working hard. That is a word that has been used, both for good and ill, to describe us at times. You get used to it after a while, and it makes the occasions where you can all the more meaningful. Ah, right. You're Sergeant Yumi's recruit. You're taller than I expected. I shouldn't, but I always do. Part of the job, really. We're always trying to fill in the blanks. In any case, let me fill you in. We have a dead drop that we think has been compromised. So I'd like someone from UC Security to handle the pickup instead. Take the package back to Sergeant Yumi, and he'll check it in as evidence before it gets routed back to Aegis. Well, I told the sergeant that anyone hired for this job should get my stamp of approval first. Nothing personal. It's just this sort of work isn't part of your normal detail. We think non-UC affiliated groups have their eye on it, and are using it to identify field agents. Normally, we just burn the location, but we didn't get this intel until after the drop. So we're going to need non-Aegis personnel to do the pickup to cover our tracks. Take the NAT to the spaceport. There should be a Galbank ATM right next to the station. The package is taped under one of the benches. Grab it and deliver it to Sergeant Yumi and the job's done. You really should know better than to ask for classified intel. What is this, your first day on the job? Don't worry, I'm just giving you a hard time. I still can't tell you what's in the package, though. Good luck with the mission.
Hi. How you doing?
Hello.
Excuse me?
Strategic asset. More like a financial black hole. I don't know why we keep funding it.
This is not a public space. The opposite, really.
Yes? What?
Sometimes it still amazes me that we managed to make it off of Earth without just up and destroying ourselves.
Hey.
Howdy. Pardon?
Yes? Okay. Hello.
Hey, howdy.
We didn't get where we are by sitting on our laurels. Our laurels, in fact, became uninhabitable a long time ago. Helps the things we do here, the tech we develop, benefits all of humanity.
Back in the lab. Quiet.
We're on the
safe,
cutting edge of
secure.
technology here.
Just
it's an
how I
exciting
like
place
it.
to be.
I'll take test tubes over laser guns any day of the week. Thank you very much. It's home. It doesn't matter how long I've been away, that will never change. Now, this lab will take some getting used to. Sometimes I go looking for the bathroom and end up in the storage closet. The short answer is xenobiology, but I get that that's a pretty broad category. My specialty is alien flora, but as a lead, I managed pretty much every department on the station. Maybe now that I'm here, I'll go back to my roots, so to speak. Yeah, it's nice being in a lab again, and the facilities here at MAST are the best in the galaxy. The only thing I don't have is my research slate. The thought of having to start over from scratch, well, I feel like Sisyphus pushing his boulder up the hill. Xenobiological stuff on the flora we grew in the facility. We made regular jumps to MAST, so thankfully I don't need all of it, just my most recent notes. Have you ever lost a document because you forgot to save? It takes twice the mental energy to rewrite it. You remember the basic idea, but there's no inspiration behind it. You're trying to pick up a memory that you told yourself was safe to forget. Oh, great. I'll give you the coordinates to the station. It orbits Voss, in the Alpha Centauri system, so it won't be too far of a jump. Just be careful.
I don't know if those zealots are still there. If they are, definitely do not engage. Goodbye.
There are so many different groups across settled systems, it's hard to keep up with all the work they're doing.
Yes?
Hello.
The security of the United Colonies is every citizen's responsibility, but we try and do the bulk of the work.
Yes? What?
Okay. Hello.
It's never easy, you know.
making decisions that could end the lives of soldiers pledged to your cause. We can't ever forget the sacrifices made for the United Colonies. We owe such a great debt to so many.
Our military must always be at the ready, but in my opinion, it should also be a last resort. The United Colonies cannot exist without a strong military to keep the peace. That's just the way things are.
Unless you have official business with the government, this is not the place for you to loiter. Am I clear? The UC might have a few less problems if the Marines were deployed a little more often.
I recognize that some may find our security protocols unreasonable. I am unfazed by their concerns. You know what separates the UC from the rest of the universe? Law and order. Makes all the difference.
Yes, what?
Howdy. Hey. Yes? The United Colonies will not be overrun or undermined while I serve. You can count on that.
Pardon?
Hello.
The United Colonies only succeed because of brave men and women like yourself. As always, we're fully committed to the ongoing success of the United Colonies. We're doing all we can.
Welcome to Mast. If you have an appointment, you may proceed inside.
What do we got here? Another applicant to the UC Vanguard? Interested in doing some good for the people of the United Colonies, all while earning your citizenship and credits to boot? Well, other than becoming a member of the greatest faction in the galaxy, you'd get access to discounted services on any UC world, credits to help you get on your feet. You'd even be able to buy property right here in New Atlantis. Citizenship unlocks it all, and signing up for the Vanguard is the fastest way to earn it. We're the United Colonies Volunteer Fleet. Any captain can join, regardless of origin. Get to fly your own ship and earn credits as you help the people in the most distant reaches of the United Colonies, all while earning your way to UC citizenship. Put in the time, and citizenship is guaranteed. Glad to hear it. Signing up simple. All you've got to do is pass a flight exam and make it through one probationary mission, and you're in. We'll have you working your way to UC citizenship in no time. Vanguard work is as needed. When we've got jobs, we'll make them available to you. But the work itself, well, it runs the gamut. Sometimes you might be hunting down hostile ships on behalf of the UC Navy, or you might be called up to help the Science Division clean up some invasive species. Hell, we've even been asked to help take on the occasional terramorph. And sometimes we just need cargo support. Not every job's glamorous. The Vanguard only gets called in for the ones where there's a chance of seeing action. Wherever the UC needs us, the Vanguard is there. Well, all right. Take the elevator down to the Vanguard Orientation Hall. You can get started at any of the registration terminals. The system will walk you through the rest. And if you've got any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Registration accepted. You may now proceed through the historical displays in the orientation hall, or continue on to the examination.
Look, you didn't hear it from me, but I got a tip there's a way to hack the Vanguard exam. Get yourself a better score.
You been through the exhibit? UC certainly likes to talk about itself, huh?
In 2150, humanity learned the Earth's magnetosphere would collapse sometime in the next half-century, eliminating all life on the planet. Decisive action was required, but the secure transport of an entire civilization would demand a new kind of cooperation, a new kind of courage, and a new kind of union. Thus, in 2159, the United Colonies were formed to make that journey possible. Just 1 year later, the Galileo, the first of many colony ships, touched down here on Jemison, beginning a new era of human history, the age of the United Colonies. From their foundation, the United Colonies strove to provide all their citizens with opportunity, security, and peace. But there were those among the UC that still wanted something more: independence. So in 2161, the UC issued the Centaurus Proclamation, granting UC citizens the right to settle distant worlds and form their own sovereign powers. It wasn't long before the first new faction, the Free Star Collective, was formally organized in 2188, later followed by House Varun, revealing themselves to the universe in 2230. It was only in 2230 that the faction known as House Varun first made contact with the rest of the settled systems. Founded by the passengers of a colony ship that had left New Atlantis and disappeared 4 decades earlier, House Va'ruun was a faction unlike any other. A theocracy dedicated wholly to the beliefs of its isolationist founder, Jinan Va'ruun. House Va'ruun initially made overtures of peace towards the rest of the settled systems. They claimed their only intention was to spread the word of their god, the Great Serpent. But none could have guessed that this worship might take the form of a bloody war, the Serpent's Crusade. The Freestar Collective was initially founded in 2188, when the citizens of Aquila banded together with the pleasure city of Neon in mutual defense. But in 2194, after the deployment of a UC medical star station in orbit around their world, the citizens of Narion also requested to join the collective. The resulting rise in tensions between the Freestar Collective and UC culminated in the settled system's first intergalactic conflict, the Narion War. Despite a decisive victory by the UC, the colonies permitted the citizens of Narion to join the collective, forming the basis for the fiercely independent union that persists to this day. House Va'ruun forces declared all-out war on the rest of human civilization, initiating the Serpent's Crusade. Over the next 23 years, thousands of Freestar, UC, and independent souls were killed by agents of House Va'ruun in the name of their serpent god. It was only with the death of their founder in 2263 and the succession of his heir, Jarek, that House Va'ruun finally sued for peace. There remains, however, select members of House Va'ruun who refuse to recognize the cessation of hostilities their leaders established. Even after House Va'ruun's mysterious disappearance, these zealots remain a threat to all who encounter them. Their pacification, a goal of all space. Of the many conflicts between the galaxy's factions, none was more brutal than the recent colony war between the UC and the Freestar Collective. Set off by the unauthorized Freestar colonization of Vesta's Pride in 2308, a direct violation of the Narion Treaty, the colony war spread quickly across the galaxy. Both sides deployed every tool at their disposal. Armadas of warships, mechanized combat platforms, or mechs, even bioengineered alien creatures, the infamous UC xeno-weapons. It was only in 2311 at the Battle of Cheyenne that the scales finally tipped, the Freestar Collective, utilizing their civilian fleet as a human shield, successfully crippled the superior United Colonies Navy. After their shocking victory against the galaxy's greatest navy, the Freestar Collective offered terms of peace, which the colonies, out of an interest in staving off any further human costs, accepted. The galaxy has been rebuilding ever since. Few settled worlds were left untouched But nowhere could the viciousness of modern warfare be seen more clearly than on the Freestar planet of Nira. Initially occupied by invading United Colonies forces as a forward operating position, repeated attempts to take and retake the planet by collective forces led only to devastation. Swaths of the world were transformed into scorched husks, a nightmarish testament to the depths of human ingenuity and human cruelty. And today, Nira remains a continuing reminder to the horrors of unfettered war.
I really hope this is just a phase.
No one knows how they move between planets. I wonder if they can grav jump or something.
In the midst of the Colony War, a different kind of tragedy struck the UC city of Londinian. A newly constructed but critical supply center for the United Colonies' war effort, Londinian found itself overrun by one of the galaxy's most mysterious predators, the Terramorph. A rare but pervasive threat to all human-settled worlds, Terramorphs swept over the city, seemingly out of nowhere, on a scale never before seen in recorded history. Valiant efforts by the UC military slowed the onslaught, but the creatures proved unstoppable. Ultimately, the decision was made to destroy the Londinian spaceport, sealing off the city, the outbreak, and its citizenry from the galaxy at large. The tragedy of Londinian is mourned by the UC to this day. After the devastation wrought by the Colony War, the UC and the Freestar Collective came together to ratify a treaty that became known as the Armistice. Both sides agreed to a vast reduction in standing forces, and that xenoweapons and mech warfare would be outlawed. All related research was sealed away, accessible only in cases of dire emergency. But the Collective had another demand, that the active commanders of the UC military stand trial for their actions. The United Colonies, in the interest of peace and galactic security, agreed. In 2311, 3 United Colonies senior officers were found guilty. Commander Henry Durant, General Indira Rastogi, and Fleet Admiral Francois Sanon, known better as Ve Victus. All were sentenced to death for their actions, bringing the Colony War to a close and returning peace to the galaxy at long last.
Oh, don't let me get in your way. I've seen all this planet already.
It was into this new world that the Vanguard was born. An official branch of the UC Navy, the Vanguard is the United Colonies Volunteer Fleet, serving a myriad of security, logistical, and reconnaissance roles. And after a sufficient length of service, UC citizenship is guaranteed to every Vanguard member. Open to all captains, regardless of origin, the Vanguard is leading the charge to protect and support the citizens of the United Colonies, wherever in the galaxy they may be. United Colony citizen. Only through service to the UC can one hope to earn one's citizenship. UC prides itself on taking care of its people. Cost of living controls means citizens pay less than their foreign counterparts for needs big and small. All citizens are issued a grant upon joining to get themselves on their feet. And only UC citizens have the opportunity to purchase property, getting the chance to live in one of the most beautiful cities in the settled systems. By joining the Vanguard today, you too can begin earning your place here, in the heart of galactic civilization, as a citizen of the United Colonies.
Welcome, applicant, to the piloting simulation chamber. Please enter the designated simulation pod to initiate your exam.
Ah, you must be our new applicant. I'm Proctor Samuelson. The simulator's already been prepped. You can head in whenever you're ready. Of course, you'll be running through a high-realism combat flight simulation, engineered by members of the UC science staff, right here in MAST. Your task is to defeat at least 3 tiers of simulated opponents. Accomplish that and you pass the exam, and can then proceed on to your probationary mission. However, if you defeat more than 3 tiers of enemies, your required enlistment time for citizenship will be reduced, and your enlistment bonus increased. But you're welcome to try as many times as you like before returning to Commander Tuala to proceed on to the next step in your application process. We'll only keep the highest score you manage to achieve in there. While I can't answer that question directly, I will say this. Due to the solitary nature of our work, resourcefulness is a critical tool in any Vanguard pilot's repertoire. You're permitted, even encouraged, to use whatever tool you're able to find in there. The simulator is designed to be a near-perfect replica of a Class B Deimos hoplite, the United Colony's standard destroyer model. It's been tuned to provide a challenging but fair fight against the enemy squadrons you'll encounter inside. Vanguard assignments can often include both space and ground combat. It'd be bad for both you and the United Colonies to not ensure you're adept in both capacities before sending you out on your first real assignment. Good hunting.
going to get it this time. I'm not going back to Terrible.
This is the Mark 18 Flight Simulation Chamber applicant, currently in orbit around a high-detail... recreation of a remote world. When you're ready to begin, please take a seat in the pilot's chair. Your exam is simple. Defeat as many tiers of opponents as you can before your ship is disabled. You must defeat at least 3 tiers of opponents to pass the exam. Good hunting, applicant.
New targets active.
progress recorded. Tier 3 reached.
Congratulations, applicant. You've defeated sufficient opponents to pass the exam. You may now exit the simulator through the hatch to record your current score, or stay and try your hand at the remaining tiers. Resuming the examination.
New targets active.
Your results, or restart the exam from the simulation's control terminal.
Shield upgrade active. Damage upgrade active.
Simulation reset. Prepare for your first opponent.
New targets active. Active.
Simulation reset. Prepare for your first opponent.
New targets active. progress recorded. Tier 4 reached. Initiating Tier 5. New targets active.
Ally eliminated.
Halting simulation. You have passed, applicant. You may proceed to the exit hatch to log your results, or restart the exam from the simulation's control terminal. If you wish to take a break, you may exit the simulation through the ship's hatch. reset. Prepare for your first opponent.
New targets active.
Target elimination imminent. No order given.
Halting simulation. You have passed, applicant. You may proceed to the exit hatch to log your results, or restart the exam from the simulation's control terminal. Simulation reset. Prepare for your first opponent.
New targets active.
This is futile. Target defeated.
Halting simulation. You have passed, applicant. You may proceed to the exit hatch to log your results, or restart the exam from the simulation's control terminal. your first opponent.
New targets active.
Extermination protocols active.
Halting simulation. You have passed, applicant. You may proceed to the exit hatch to log your results, or restart the exam from the simulation's control terminal. Congratulations, applicant. You've passed. You can head up to Commander Tuwala to receive your final results and your probationary assignment. Or you're welcome to take another run at the simulation if you'd like to try and earn a better score. We'll only keep your best run. Examination remains the same. Defeat as many tiers of opponents as you can before your ship is disabled. Defeat 3 tiers of opponents to complete the exam. Good hunting, applicant.
New targets active.
defeated. Target defeated.
All targets eliminated. Progress recorded. Tier 3 reached.
Congratulations, applicant. You've defeated sufficient opponents to pass the exam. You may now exit the simulator through the hatch to record your current score, or stay and try your hand at the remaining tiers.
New targets active. All targets eliminated. Progress recorded. Tier 4 reached. Initiating Tier 5. New targets active.
Is this your first time flying? Target defeated. Engines offline. You must be able to do better than that. Target defeated. Target defeated.
All targets eliminated. Progress recorded. Tier 5 reached. Initiating final tier. Prepare yourself. New targets active.
Halting simulation. You have passed, applicant. You may proceed to the exit hatch to log your results, or restart the exam from the simulation's control terminal.